Back in the day, when I was 10 to 12 years old, I played a lot of Wii games. And I kinda stopped when... It's also because my Wii broke. And in those years, I obviously played a lot of Nintendo titles, ranging from the whole Mario series and the Mario spin-offs, a little bit of Zelda titles, that one Pokemon game that got really bad reviews, along with a lot of very unusual and weird games out there. And one of my favorite franchises, Kirby. So yeah, I played a lot of Wii games. It was so bad that after my primary school exams, my mom gave me Super Mario Galaxy 2, because, you know, I did well in school. I pretty much almost completed the game in 14 hours sitting non-stop in front of my Wii. Like, you know, at that age you're supposed to go outside and play with some friends and stuff. Yeah, I wasn't one of those. But let's go back to the Wii games for Kirby. And there's one game among the three of them that I want to talk about. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, or Kirby's Adventure Wii in the PAL regions. I don't know why they did that, but I guess it's for branding and stuff. I'm not an expert in this, so... Also, I kinda meant the deluxe version on the Switch, because I kinda needed a segue into this game. I also want to talk about Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, but I don't have a segue to that, so beef poof puff, let's go. I guess I forgot. Fuck it. As I finally defeated the endgame and the postgame of Forgotten Land, I can finally talk about it. And as a Dark Souls veteran, go check out my Dark Souls series, thank you. I chose Wild Mode, even though there wasn't much of a difference in difficulty. The story is pretty much your usual Kirby story. You know, Kirby enjoying his day, wandering about, getting hit by a storm, getting sucked into an interdimensional portal, and getting stranded on the beach. Yeah, you know, your usual Kirby day. Jesus. And my initial reaction when I was on that beach was, where am I? What is this place? Oh my god! Oh, it's so adorable. Yeah, all of my masculinity went out the window. That is, if I had some masculinity to begin with. So the first few hours were an absolute blast. Nostalgia was hitting me left and right. I was so happy to see some old faces and some new ones. I really liked some of the good old powers and some of the next gen ones. I also loved experimenting with the weapon upgrades, because there were some broken ones out there. But also some very funny ones. Top of his head! Walking around Waddle Dee Town was an absolute delight to do. There were so many cute activities to do in this town, and I loved the way how the village grew bigger and bigger. And don't forget the cute Kirby burger. And also let's not forget about the Kirby car, or the Kirby vending machine, or the Kirby water balloon. I swear to god, these transformations are way too adorable. As I progressed further into the story, I kind of found the downside of this game, and that is, it kind of became tedious. There wasn't much new stuff happening, like it didn't really wow me anymore. Pretty much, I was forcing myself to get the upgrades for the abilities, and I was just trying to get to the end game of the story. Because holy cow, the end game is so sick. Like, you first have to fight a lion, and then you have to fight a slimy thingy thing, because of certain spoilers that I cannot say, and then it transforms into a sentient being that flies all over the map, and then you transform into a goddamn bus while you ride on meteorites that the boss sends you, and then you have to fucking crush the boss with a fucking bus. What the fuck? Hey, yo! A fucking truck that defeats the final boss. Jesus, dude. So yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10 or a 7.5 out of 10 for the whole game. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about this game. It was a very fun game to breeze through, but in the middle of the game it kind of became a bit tedious. But the end game saved the whole story. Now it's time for the other Kirby game that I wanted to talk about. I still have yet to finish the whole game, but I kind of finished the story, but not everything else. Here's totally now because I was making music and stuff. And so when I jumped from Forgotten Land to this one, I was absolutely amazed at how smooth it was. And it plays the exact same way I remembered it on the Wii. Because oh my god, this was fun. It was such a smooth ride, just like how I remembered it back in the day. Now you're probably wondering, what's the difference between this and the Wii version? Well, there are a lot of videos out there explaining everything, but I'll explain it in 5 seconds. Enhanced graphics and a lot more detail to each level. Kirby has black outlines and 2 new abilities. Now I have seen the argument roaming about Kirby's black outlines, that some people don't really like them, which I understand. I personally personally don't really mind, but it would have been cool if there was a toggle or something to turn it on or off. The 2 new abilities are also really cool. I personally enjoyed the mecha ability, and I loved playing around with it. I also really like the small little details they have added in the whole game. Now you're wondering, is this worth the purchase? For someone who is a diehard Kirby fan and who has enjoyed Kirby's Return to Dreamland, or someone who has yet to play the original game on the Wii, I would say yes, it's a really cool nostalgia trip for you to enjoy, and is in my opinion one of the better Kirby games out there. But if you're not a fan of Kirby games, and you've always wanted to try a Kirby game on the Switch, I would personally recommend Forgotten Land since it's a smoother ride to get into. Now you're probably thinking, is this the end of the video? Yes, so now imagine an explosion. Also, where did you think I got my logo from?